Week 2's in the books. Now we head into week 3 and we have your top waiver wire pickups that you need to be targeting this week. But before I get into it, if you could take a second, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you don't already so you know when new videos like this go live. Let's get into it. Starting off with running back for the Cleveland Browns, Jerome Ford, and with Nick Chubb out for the season after suffering a season-ending knee injury on Monday Night Football, Jerome Ford becomes a must-pick-up this week, and honestly, he looked really good after Nick Chubb exited the game. He had over 100 rushing yards and even caught a touchdown, so head to the waiver wire and pick up Jerome Ford, who's going to be the hottest waiver wire pickup of the week. Next, we have running back for the LA Rams, Kyren Williams, and there's a good chance that he's not available, but if he is a must pick up in your league. I mean, Cam Akers is expected to be traded from the LA Rams, which means Kyren Williams is the RB1 for the Rams going forward, and he's had a great 2 weeks so far, so if Kyren Williams is available on your waivers, pick him up. Next, we have running back for the New York Giants, Matt Breida, and with Saquon Barkley expected to miss a few weeks due to an ankle sprain, Matt Breida becomes a viable fantasy option. He's widely available throughout leagues, so if you have a need for a running back, Matt Breida may be someone you want to take a look at. Next, we have wide receiver for the Houston Texans, Tank Dell, with Noah Brown landing on the IR this past week. Tank Dell saw an increase in playing time, and he showed up. He had 10 targets, 7 receptions for 72 yards and a touchdown. I think he's someone that could be fantasy relevant going forward. So if you have a need for a wide receiver, Tank Dell may be someone you want to take a look at. Next, we have wide receiver for the LA Rams, Tutu Atwell, and he was someone that I recommended last week if you're unable to get Puka Nacua, who was one of the hottest waiver wire pickups heading into week 2. I thought Tutu Atwell would get overlooked, and he did in a lot of leagues, and he did show up again this week, getting another 9 targets, 7 receptions for 77 yards. He's very involved in this offense. I think he's someone that should be picked up off waivers. So if you have a need for a wide receiver, Tutu Atwell is a great option. Next, we have tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, Jake Ferguson. And while he hasn't really had that good of a fantasy game yet, he did score 10 fantasy points on Sunday after catching a touchdown. But in week 1, he saw 7 targets. In week 2, he saw 4 targets. I think if the Dallas Cowboys are ever in a competitive game or playing from behind, Jake Ferguson could be a great fantasy tight end option. So if you have a need for a tight end, Jake Ferguson may be someone you want to take a look at. We have our quarterback of the week, quarterback for the LA Rams, Matthew Stafford, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, who have not looked good so far this season. I like the spot for Matthew Stafford. I mean, he just threw for 300 yards against the 49ers defense. Now he goes on and takes on the Cincinnati Bengals defense, who have not looked good so far this season. So Matthew Stafford is my streaming quarterback option this week. We have our defense of the week, the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the Chicago Bears, and this Chicago Bears offensive line has looked horrible to start the season. Justin Fields has no time at all. The line can't hold anyone back. Now they take on the Kansas City Chiefs at home. They are my defense of the week. And that's going to do it for us today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Until next time, line 'em up.